And what's the point? Students see how point slope form can make it easier to write equations for linear relationships. So, for example, one of the standards that they will be working on today is A.2c, in which they write linear equations from multiple representations. In this example, knowing point slope form makes it much easier to write the linear equation because this point right here is going to show up directly in answer choice F. Here's a similar example where writing point slope form makes the problem much easier. Here we have equations in point slope form in a graph, so the students just need to recognize the slope of the line and a point on the graph to be able to write these equations. We're also looking at A.2b, which is our supporting standard, in which students write linear equations in various forms. In the slides, I replaced the Carnegie warm-up with a STAR warm-up question. And about halfway through the lesson, you'll see a check for understanding embedded directly in the slides. For this one, students just pause in the work that they're doing and they talk to the person sitting next to them and explain one thing that they have learned so far. There is another check for understanding at the end of day one. It's a fist to 5 in which students evaluate their own learning. And day 2 begins anew on the next slide with a new set of success criteria, and we're continuing on the same objective. Slide 22 has students working with a partner to match these representations. Now, if you click on this, you'll see that I have created a Google Doc. You can print this out. All I did was rearrange the questions in the Carnegie book, and I added a little bit of scaffolding, added some questions to help the kids along. So if you would like to make copies of this, you can. It's linked right there for you. For the talk, students must use these different forms of equations to identify the slope, the y-intercept, or a point on the line, and there's some sentence stems provided for them here at the bottom. Finally, at the end of the lesson, students evaluate their own learning by drawing emojis to measure their understanding of each of the success criteria that they've explored during these 2 days of instruction.